real quick. I'm gonna get this out the way. Look, man, I recorded this video within like multiple days, or and also some more towards the end. And I was outside for like a good 17 minutes, and also probably a little more than two. My mic might have been, rubbing up against my shirt, so the quality of the audio may be a little poor. I'm just saying that because I don't want to hear nobody crying in the comments. Look, bro, I made a lot of this video, so if y'all fucks with it, appreciate you. Leave a like, leave a comment. All love be greatly appreciated. Also, I do be on Twitch at BossDK23. Check your boy out. Donations of any kind. If y'all want to see your boy live stream on Twitch or on YouTube, just so y'all can talk to your boy, let me know some. Video do get a little bit, a little vicious. And since I was kind of stopping and coming back to the video, I might have some continuity issues. I do apologize in advance. And since I've already warned y'all about pretty much everything, enjoy the second intro. Catch y'all. And also, I'm going to attempt to put some pictures of people that will be important later, and that's going to be more at the end of the video. Catch y'all later. An incentive for y'all to stay. This is Brawly and Android C18's kid. Enjoy. Yeah. Hello. It is the one that makes the videos. So this what if? Hold on, let me get fully adjusted. It's funny because I'm about to go to work, but this video is gonna be big buddy different from most of my videos, or at least most of my older videos. Anyways, it's gonna be what if Frieza was the main character. All right, but I probably say my title like what if Frieza wins, or what if Frieza won on Planet Namek. I gotta think about it, but I digress. So basically, how we're gonna do this bad boy, right, is we're gonna have your boy Frieza. Basically, everything up until like Namek happens the same. But the slight difference here is Frieza, for whatever reason, was able to, I hate to even say this, catch Goku off guard or something. Or Goku start acting too cocky. Frieza basically puts that nigga in the blender. GG's, he's out of commission, right? Now, what ended up happening is this is the divergent point of the whole story. Frieza gets off of Planet Namek, but there's also somebody that somehow survived. Captain Ginyu. He was able to like somehow survive. And let's just say, I don't really got a reason. So we could just say instead of Vegeta like obliterating his body or killing the frog or something, we could just say somehow he was able to get to the frog and get his body back. Or we could say something like that. Then he was able to come to Frieza and be like, Lord Frieza, I'm alive. And Frieza's like, all right, good. Captain Ginyu would be kind of upset. Like, he was like, look, I'm sorry, I failed you, master, on some shit. Frieza would be too joyful to even care. He gonna be like, yeah, I'm in a good mood right now. I'll let it slide on some shit. And then Captain Ginyu's like, all right, perfect. They leave Planet Namek. Everything in that part happens. Leaves Planet Namek. But we're not gonna slide past like Goku didn't put the beats on Frieza. Okay? And when this happened, Frieza had to get some upgrades, but he's not gonna look nearly as mechanical as he did in canon. But we'll just say he has some mechanical parts or something, right? And with that being the case, he is a lot stronger than what he was in canon. And basically, we'll just make it to where he's like stronger or strong enough, in the sense of like where he's strong enough to like fuck up everybody. So he heads over to planet Earth after what, maybe, I think it was a year. Yeah. So he heads to planet Earth, and Goku's also dead. All right. Heads over to planet Earth, pulls up, sees what these peoples are doing. Vegeta comes, and he's like, damn, so Frieza's here, that must mean Goku died, basically. Like, but he would be like hinting and more of applying that shit, right? And he's going to try to fight Frieza. You know he's gonna try to hit that Super Saiyan Supreme. So him and Frieza gonna have a good battle. Good hands, good hands, good hands. We kick, backflip, galley gun, Frieza deflect. And let's just say that Vegeta puts a god, and when I say god, I mean godly effort. And like Frieza was a kind of like, oh no. But after, doing some maneuvers and hitting his prince in the right place, I don't mean his nuts. I just mean hitting him right. And just Frieza was able to eventually get this nigga down at base form, down groveling. And before Frieza kills him, I might say she, because I used to think she was a girl. I mean, Frieza was a girl. Anyways, he looks at Vegeta and just be like, damn, that Super Saiyan shit wasn't all hype, was it? Oh yeah, one more thing. And Vegeta's like, what? Like a bitch. And then just Vegeta's gone. Captain Goon's like, yeah, good shit, Frieza. Dick riding as always. Now, with this being said, Frieza eventually starts trying to be like, damn, all right, where these other niggas at? Krillin eventually throws some quality hands. Okay, I say quality, but it was more like a one-sided slaughter. But he had a whole bunch of sensu beams, so he just kept eating these hoes. Kept coming back up, kept going up. And he kept doing this. And Frieza's like, you Earthlings are persistent, but I'll make sure you don't come back from this one. Charges up like, a move, and then blows Krillin away. And as Krillin's dying out, he says this thought to himself, Frieza, you'll see. Boom. This nigga gets rolled up in the blunt. R.I.P. Krillin. The sky turns dark. And we see your boy Frieza panicking. Like, hey, why the sky turning dark? Then Frieza realizes, I see. They bring it back either Vegeta or Goku. Son Goku. And then he starts chuckling to himself. Who would have thought? You filthy monkeys would have been the one to bring out the best in me. I'll have to pay my respect or something to that effect. And so Frieza, flies off and heads over to that. Goku eventually meets up with Frieza while Captain Ginny's there, but he's not really doing nothing. He's just kind of there. And Frieza touches down, and Goku's like, Frieza. He's like, ho, 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 monkey. He's like, well, before we start this fight, I just want to have one more chance at you, one more time. And can we please change location? Frieza's like, why? Sinister smirk appears on his face. Oh, I see. You don't want to damage you don't want to hurt any of these civilians in the surrounding area. And Vegeta's like, yeah, that's right. Got a problem with that? No. If that's all you want to do. Frieza flexes some of his power, similar to how he did in Resurrection F. Wipes everything, basically, shoots a large aura around everything and a whole bunch of ki blasts and boom. Planet. I mean, not even planet. Cities are in ruin. Swear to God, if Future Trunks saw this, he'd fucking have Vietnam flashbacks to be 100, right? So then Goku's mad and Frieza's like, yes, monkey, that's the face I wanted to see. Now let me show you true terror. Ha! And then they begin their scuffle as per usual. And this is actually quality hands. They're practically equal, except that Frieza's a lot stronger. Or just strong enough. Let's just say his mechanical repairs and stuff like that gave him more of an amp than it did in original canon, thus causing him to be even stronger. Plus, we could even say when he got killed on Namek that he was, big body enough, or he trained just a little bit longer. So his 100% form didn't run out nearly as bad. So anyways, he basically starts fighting Goku, and their fight's going out. Goku's pulling out all his tricks. Frieza's pulling out most of his, and then the fight gets to basically a closing end. So after a good bit of scuffling and fighting, Frieza just good hands, good hands, good hands. Hits Goku. Boom. About to like send this dude, you basically, you know, about to finish this dude off. But then before he could get a kick to the chin, Gohan has entered the battle. And Gohan, knowing that his dad died, is actually a Super Saiyan. So Gohan's like, I will not let you hurt my father. And Goku's like, Gohan, what are you doing here? And then Gohan's like, I'm not gonna let you fight this monster alone, Dad. Together we can beat him. Goku laughs, ripping off the top part of his gi. All right, follow my lead. And then they basically power up and like attack Frieza, and then they would pan off. And then just both of these niggas down on the ground, just bloody, leaking, dead, looking goofy. Frieza. And you know how he would go into the ho 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 and just laughing maniacally and sinisterly. He's like, yeah, I'm a smooth dude. Looking around. He's like, yep. Goku getting up. Gohan getting up. He was like, you monkeys never know when to quit. But before I finish y'all off, as he extends two hands out towards each of them, Gohan and Goku respectively, I have to thank you. If it wasn't for me running into you, disgusting monkeys. No, excuse me. If it wasn't for me running into you, Son Goku and Gohan, I wouldn't have even learned that I could reach this level of power. So I'll make your death quickly, painless. And then he shoots a massive ki blast at both of them, sending them to the afterlife. Gohan got eviscerated immediately. Goku went for his last ditch Emperor Kaioken times, like we could just say like 100 or something, while in Super Saiyan. He just, Frieza. He hits Frieza with a 1, 2, 3, and then overdid it. It doesn't have to be 100, but just a Kaioken times something. Overdoes it. Body started leaking. He's falling down to the ground. And then as he's doing this, he's literally having big body flashbacks about everything. King Piccolo, the Saiyans, like all of his memories all up until now. And then he remembers something King Kai said. Goku, do not fight Frieza. He's too strong for you. And him thinking, I guess you were right, King Kai. I guess you were right. And then he falls down. And that's the last of Goku. And Frieza is ecstatic, realizing that he just killed the last Saiyan. He's like, yeah, this is nice. So, you know, not much more time passed, maybe like a week or so, you know, of them just moving around and stuff. And then eventually, actually, no, it has to be, no, yeah, that works. So Frieza eventually started collecting these Dragon Balls after, you know, a little bit of time has passed, of course. Start collecting these Dragon Balls like a year or so, all right? Start collecting these Draggy Balls, all right? He doing his thing. Captain King was like, I got 4 out of the 7 Dragon Balls. And then, you know, he found a Dragon Raider off of Frieza, not off of Frieza, but like we can see either off of Gohan or just in the chaos. He found it. So they're using this to find the Dragon Balls, but they realize there's a third party here that's trying to take the Dragon Balls from them once again. Frieza chuckles. You Earthlings do know how to amaze me and annoy me. So, after, you know, some short period of time passed, they find themselves at a laboratory. And they're like, okay, what the fuck's in here? Walking in there. Well, not walking in there, but walking towards there. But before they could even do that, they get scissor kicked by 2 different individuals. One blonde-headed, blue-eyed beauty and 17. So these niggas basically try to fight, and Frieza's laughing maniacally like, oh, this shall be fun. And these androids are going to be programmed slightly different to kill Frieza and save the Earth instead of Dr. Doro trying to be the world's strongest. So with that being said, they begin throwing the quality hands. Good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands. And then Frieza has a very unique idea. realizing which one is the stronger out of the two, he tries to grab 17. And he says, Captain Ginyu, do it now. And Captain Ginyu's like, oh, right. Change now. Tries to shoot at Android 17 to see if they could change bodies so Captain Ginyu could be one stronger and have the infinite energy. Because we could say the androids talked about or something. But what ended up happening is Android 17 got in the way to protect her brother. The second this happened, Frieza jumps up, waits for the body change to be complete, and immediately blows away Captain Ginyu's old body, turns around, looks at 17 and kicks him up in the air, basically just brutally beats him. And basically you just see this Frieza just kicking, punching, almost like Gar and Rock Lee, just. And each time these punches are getting harder and harder, and you just see robot parts flying everywhere, blood flying everywhere, until, and then you hear Android 18, which is Captain Ginyu now, Frieza, or Lord Frieza, and then Frieza dusting himself off. It's been a while since I had a nice little workout. You can almost say I missed those monkeys. As he proceeds to head into the laboratory, but before, no, they walk in, they trying to figure out like, hey, what's going on in here? And so they try to they basically blow the door down, looking around, and then out of nowhere, Dr. Gero attacks Android 18. We could just say he realizes it's not actually 18. And then what ended up happening is he's trying to absorb the energy, but he realized it was Android 18 too late. And with that being said, she kicked this nigga in the chin and then sent this nigga packing. He said, oh, it looks like you got yourself a fine body there. I tried to get you the strong one, but you're not too. And this will have to do or something, in Frieza's typical fashion. So with that being said, they walk over and sit there and chat for a little bit, saying, oh, I see. How about this? Since I'm a gracious and general, or I hate this. Since I'm a nice, benevolent ruler, do me a favor. If you can hand me over those Dragon Balls, I'll let you live. And Dr. Gero's like, ugh. Knowing he's backed into a corner, and knowing he can't do that, or he has to do that or he'll die, I would believe it'd be more plausible for him to be like, sure. And so with that being said, he hits a couple of keys on his computer and then hands Frieza over the last bit of Dragon Balls. And then Frieza is about to wish for immortality, and then Android 16 comes out woodworks. But Captain Ginyu sees this coming and holds off the android. And also, since let's say they talked about how the wish works, also grabs Gero, brings them away, and holds them off or whatever. And Frieza, Dragon, grant me eternal youth. Give me my wish. Make my body immortal. And then it happens. The wish happens. The balls scatter. Frieza flying up into the air, almost like a Super Saiyan God ritual. His mechanical body starts to heal as the mechanical parts fall out of him, as he can feel this massive surge of energy and power. Entering immortal Frieza has entered the battlefield. So Frieza, Captain Ginyu, that's enough. I'll take care of this pesky android. And then just sends a strong, really, we could say super death beam over to, the android. And then blows him up. Let's just say, Frieza hits him right where the bombs. And then Frieza walks over to the doctor. Well, I was going to give you the chance of living, but since you want to play tricks, I guess there's no point of keeping you alive. Charges up a hand beam. And Dr. Gero tries to plead, but Frieza's like, silence. Blasts him away. And they basically take over Earth for a good little bit. But I mean, before they did that, Piccolo did try to fuse. He did try to come through like a smooth dude. He got Billy rocked, all right? We're not even gonna play these games where I build it up. No, he got smacked. He got beat like a fucking 5-year-old against a fucking 17-year-old. He got beat like a stepchild. Like, it was not even a contest. If you saw it, you would have to put it on one of those weird sites on Black Market or something, on the dark, deep web, all right? Because it was rape. It was not consensual. Piccolo died, all right? Earth eventually got taken over, became one of, Frieza's newer planets, he was chilling, he was good. So he kept up with his training only because he kept having nightmares of the Super Saiyan. Now, we gotta remember that even though he won, he was getting beat maliciously for a while in the fight, okay? And even Vegeta did give him a hard time. So every so often, he does have a nightmare or two. So this keeps his training at a minimum, but it's not like big body where he's primarily focusing on getting stronger. So with this saying being said, 20 years pass and enter Perfect Cell. Coming out of that fucking incubation, he is perfection at its finest. And probably would be a lot stronger due to seeing Frieza and everyone else fight due to Dr. Gero's creation. Cell pulls up on Frieza after, beating mainly all of his best warriors. And then Frieza decides to see who's at his front door. And Cell's, talking shit. I'm the perfect being. I'm perfect. And Frieza's like, interesting. Last time I checked, it's either you're me or you're not. But show me. As he spreads both his arms out and have that 1 foot extended little shit he like to do. Now show me. Show me your perfection, Cell. Cell powers up. And they begin to scruffle. Go. Good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands. And as they're fighting, they're talking shit, Frieza's like, to think that someone this powerful was on Earth this whole time. And they would have a brief discussion on how Cell was born, and they would begin the fight. Everybody seeing Lord Frieza fight is actually now even more terrified. Because up until this point, he hasn't had to use much of his power at all. So everybody's like, oh my God. Even the people that were thinking about trying to have an uproar decided not to, just for that exact reason. So Cell's fighting deviously. Go. Good hands, go. Frieza's like, it seems you have an annoying ability to regenerate. Cell's like, of course I do. Frieza takes his time and think, what to do. I'm actually quite, as he slowly flies down, I'm actually quite fond of this planet. So instead of blowing it up, how about I just blow every perfect cell out of your body? And then Cell's like, you can try. Frieza blitzes him. Hits him with a mean kick up. Frieza jumps up, turns upside down. Just like, I've never tried this before, but I'll do what those Saiyans once did. I'll improvise. Death Ball! Sends it up towards Cell, and then Cell screaming, shouting, impossible! I was supposed to be perfect! And Cell is no more. Frieza, realizing how strong Cell was and starting to think, okay, that 20 years of peace was all right, but I don't like it. Basically, the main issue here with Frieza in this given context is the simple fact that dude was kind of strong, so he hasn't been training, he might have lost. So what he decides to do is he decides to start doing a lot more training. And he trains a little more consistently. Not super hard or super heavy, but a lot more diligently when he does do it. And the main platform for him to train or do mental training is he mimics all the moves he remembered Goku doing back on Planet Namek. And some of the moves the Namekians tried to use on him, and just copy that. So he's basically taking the hermit style, making it into the evil version, if you will. So after some more time passes, enter Majin Buu. And do I even need to tell you how this happens? Actually, I do. Same way the cell fight happens, but slightly different here. Okay? Frieza say, you know what, man? I'm not in the mood for this shit no more. Man, fuck you, fuck this. Fuck that wizard, first of all. Death me like a bitch. Then he gets a death ball and says, yeah, oh, you want candy? I got some candy for you, little nigga. Throws a death ball down to the planet, says, die, bitches. And then Captain Ginyu knew what was going on. That nigga sprinted, got the fuck out of there, and just dipped. All right, so he bended it. It's like Frieza would have warned him or gave him some heads up. Because Frieza actually likes this whole infinite energy thing. And Frieza's been using Captain Ginyu since he has infinite energy to train. So with that being said, boom, bye-bye Earth. Frieza begins to continue training with Captain Ginyu. And Ginyu, since he reduces in age and also has the potential of the androids, which I believe is really just an asshole for the writers, but we'll just go with it and say, you know, it works. Frieza training really hard, diligently, on top of having air quote potential. We'll make it to where they are dumb strong. Beerus eventually wakes up after enough time. Tries to basically talk shit to Frieza, but Frieza keeps it nice and kosher and asks Whis, what is the requirement to become a god of destruction? Whis, was it? Oh, it seems like you want to try to take Lord Beerus' spot. Well, it's a simple endeavor. For someone to become the god of destruction, one must either defeat the god of destruction or be trained by one. There's a couple other ones, but I think those are the only ones that would matter to you. What was it now? Lord Frieza? Excellent. Frieza starts powering up. It actually pains me to say this, but I made this form in spite of those Saiyajins that I fought many years ago. I call it Golden Frieza. Then he powers up. Enter perfected Golden Frieza. Beerus is like, you've gotten a big head. I knew I should have just killed you when I had the chance. It's too late, Beerus. He wouldn't say he's immortal, but he'll basically begin throwing hands. Catching Beerus. Good hands, good hands, good hands. And then he just starts shooting a whole bunch of ki blasts at fucking Frieza. Ki blasts at Beerus. Beerus is actually trying to block these. Pulls up, shoots a massive ki blast in Beerus's face, and they just start going at it. Like, this is like one of those most epic fights you would ever see, right? And then Android 18 pulls up on a Whis. Whis is like, you look like that Android 18, if I'm not mistaken. But from your way that you're posturing, I would presume that you're that Captain Ginyu fella that had the changing body technique. Don't worry, I will not interrupt Lord Beerus' fight. I just have to wait to see if I'm either going to become a master of the new god destruction or stay the same. And that's how that interaction would go. And so the fight would continue, throwing hands. Eventually Frieza gets sick of this, goes back down, looks at Beerus and be like, you can't kill me, I'm immortal. The second that happens, Beerus pulls up to Frieza, says Hakai. Realizing what just happened, Frieza ducks, dodge, gets out of the way, rolling back, looking behind him, seeing basically a good chunk of whatever rock was right there get destroyed. And then Frieza thinks to himself, okay, he could do that Hakai. That seems like it's gonna kill me if it hits. Perfect. So Frieza begins to fight again like per usual. Then the second Beerus tries to do a Hakai. Frieza grabs Beerus with his tail, puts it in Beerus' face. Like he could grab, let's say he grabs like the arm or something, right, at a weird angle. And Beerus Hakai's himself. And then Beerus actually starts dying like... So, and then Frieza charges up a whole bunch of death beams just to, add insult to injury. But it doesn't do nothing because, Beerus is already kind of dead. And Frieza enter, after, some short period of time has come, enter God of Destruction, Frieza. And then I wish I had like some picture. I might like post a picture or something as I say that. I don't know. But like you would see basically an enter of fucking God Destruction, golden form Frieza getting trained by Whis. Since he destroys planets anyways, he'll destroy anyone that gets in his way perfectly. On top of that, Android 18 or Captain Ginyu gets perfect training from Whis too. So we could just say this is very interesting. And since Frieza's actively destroying things and trying to make sure all threats stay at bay, even though it's for a selfish reason, it actually protects the universe. And then now let's get to where these things get a little interesting. Let's talk about Brawly. As Frieza basically traveling around the planets, making sure everything's staying in order and everyone's staying subjugated to him and him alone, he eventually stumbled upon planet Vampa, talked to Paragus. We'll just say he kills Paragus off. Brawly eventually comes. Frieza realizes he sees the shark color, takes that off, and he'll do in typical Frieza fashion. Be like, your father has seemed to pass away due to a monster, yada yada. Basically just bullshit. But basically lying to this nigga saying like a monster killed your dad, and I'm here to rescue you off this chop, basically trash planet, right? So what ends up happening is after they get to the planet, Frieza realizes it's a Saiyan. Frieza thinks, I should go ahead and get rid of it. And Frieza thinks about how Goku and Vegeta and the other Saiyan pushed him to get to new heights. So he thinks maniacally, I could always kill the Saiyan later with a Hakai. So instead of doing that, I'll let the Saiyan live and have Whis train him. Yes, Saiyans are known for getting stronger into battle. And I can even have as one of my underlings. Excellent. So Frieza basically hatches a scheme and decides to do this. Frieza wants to see how strong Brawly is, so Captain Ginyu and Android 18 buddy fights as per usual. Brawly doesn't do much until he gets, Hikari. Then the fight gets a little more intense. And then he transforms into Super Saiyan, or his legendary Super Saiyan, and the fight's actually really intense. They're actually quite equal in power, but Brawly had a little edge, so Frieza steps in and one-shots Brawly and says, yes, this dude, Whis, train this filthy monkey. Tosses him aside. Be like, Lord Frieza, why would you want to train such a creature you deem beneath you? It is simple, Whis. In my journeys before becoming the god of destruction, there was a few things that I thought were absolute. I am an absolute. Basically, he'll just talk about how he thought he was an absolute power, how he thought he was a beast, blah, 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 blah. But he realizes these Saiyans seem to push the best out of him. So he decided to keep this Brawly alive to see if he can help him tap into any more power. Whis, understanding, very well then. And that ensures Brawly. And Brawly, in some more years pass. One, Frieza is immortal, period. On top of him being immortal, he is also a god of destruction. But we just gonna end it off there. And Frieza eventually figures out where New Namek is. And instead of subjugating all the people, he decides to be cheeky and make one good wish, wishing that Shin or whoever is connected to the god of destruction is immortal too. And he also uses like the last two wishes or whatever, or something. I don't know. It won't really matter what he uses that for, but I digress. So he's making sure there is no way for him to die, thus making him the absolute force in this universe. And when he learns that there's a multiverse, Frieza gets exiled and decides it's time to conquer the multiverse. And enter Multiverse Emperor Frieza. But before we get to that, we would have to talk about his journeys to these other universes. I did do this in segments, but we'll digress that minor detail. So anyway, so Frieza realizes multiverse is a thing. So now he's thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna copy. But Whis would be like, my lord, that wouldn't be wise. You would have to go through the Grand Prix and Zeno, blah blah blah. Give him a whole bunch of information on that. So with this information and all of this, he devises a scheme. Not a scheme as exactly, but he decides to go talk to them personally. And this version of Frieza is a lot more calmer, a lot more cool-headed, not as like cowardly as Frieza was in canon, due to the simple fact of he's achieved everything. He became like the top dog in his universe, and on top of this, he makes sure his universe is ran perfectly. He decides, even though his father was a weakling, he decides he should run the empire a lot more smoothly, a lot more effectively. So instead of trying to rule it by just like complete fear alone, he decides to be more malevolent and more strategic. So instead of him just inherently going out and just killing he did that for like the first few years of him, becoming the god of destruction. But instead of him just killing anything that he deemed a threat, he decided that he needs to not get complacent and he needs to seek out strong warriors. So he uses these strong warriors to basically keep other things and other sections of the universe in check, while he also does the same thing with the Brawler. And even despite Brawley being insane, he makes sure Brawley, kept up with his training and learned how to use all his forms and this. And also, he realizes something with Android 18 or Captain Ginyu. Despite having like, I don't know, I think it would be kind of comedic and also fan service related, where it's like Captain Ginyu doing all these like weird poses while being an Android 18 body. So I think that'd be kind of funny. But we'll have it to where he realizes that Captain Ginyu's power has kind of like peaked out. Like he can't get any stronger for some reason. And Frieza finds this kind of alarming. But then as Frieza thinks about it, this body isn't just a regular body, it's an android. But Frieza puts this back to the back of his mind for the time being, goes to Grand Zeno and asks him a simple question. Would it be possible for me to be a god of destruction of multi-universes? And the Grand Priest looks at Whis and they just kind of nod at each other. And they both realize something, but that won't be, specified for the time being. What really happens, right, is we'll say the Grand Priest says, that's not how things are typical. I don't know how he talks, but he's like, that's not exactly how things are typically run. But there is a way you could potentially do this. And Zeno was planning to erase all the universes, but if you could think of some type of ideal to where we, dictate what universe should. Basically, this is going to be the tournament of power. Short, long, and simple. But it's going to be the tournament of power, but slightly different. Frieza just finding out now that all the universes are going to be erased, or all the ones that are performing low. And Frieza starts thinking, interesting. Now this is a problem, right? Because if they get erased, if the other universes get erased, he won't be able to, roll over them. But on the same end of the coin, as he's thinking about this, he approaches Zeno, and Frieza, without swallowing an ounce of his pride, bows down to Zeno, knowing that this is one of the few people he won't be able to, conquer or or like just superiorly beat out. Like he knows that, right? And he's not really too, concerned about that. He's like, all right, I'll just play the long game. I mean, I'm immortal, literally. Even if, Zeno did want to kill him, which I would say he probably could, because he killed a whole timeline. But we'll have it to where Frieza doesn't really care about this. So the Grand Prix says, if you can win the Tournament of Power and successfully win the Tournament of Power and also keep the universes all in check simultaneously and keep the mortal level high or something, this wouldn't be, a problem with us. But there's a few problems with even if you made it that far. Because I would say Frieza wouldn't be able to, suggest the tournament of power, but Captain Ginyu would be able to, due to the fact that Android 18 would probably have some information on that due to the, being Android. So even if you did all this, you would still have to fight the other gods of destructions and beat them, similar to how you were able to beat Beerus. He's not a lord no more. Frieza thinks about this, ponders this. Okay, fine then. While he's still bowing, he's like, okay, very well then. What will be the rules for this tournament? Well, you'll need to gather 10 warriors. 10 warriors. The wish for the Super Dragon Balls, we'll worry about that later. But it's gonna be kind of similar to how it was, but not at the same time. It's gonna be like, you need to grab, 10 strong warriors. And Frieza thinks like, damn, this kind of sucks. Because the problem with this is these 10 strong warriors, he's got, Brawly and Android 18, but he's like, okay, so we got 3. No, there's a catch. The God of Destruction isn't allowed to fight. Frieza actually visibly like, damn, this kind of fucks with my plans a little. He's like, wait a minute. Okay. Very well then. Okay. I'll be back. And Frieza walks off while Whis and, Grand Priest looks at each other and nods again. And so what ended up happening is Frieza goes back to Planet Namek. And the Nameks are, a little kind of uncomfortable, but not really, because the last time Frieza was here, he didn't kill no one, and he even apologized for being such a ruthless tyrant, which most people don't take it, to heart, but they're like, all right, whatever. So what ended up happening is he learned Namekian, by the way. I mean, after his, first experience on this planet, he decided to go ahead and learn a little something. So he ended up summoning the Dragon Balls. And then he wishes Earth to be restored back to the way it was prior to him ruling it. Also, he wishes for every person that has... Okay, look, I'm not going to say how he does the wish exactly, like word from beta, but long story short, we can say he used all 3 of the wishes, because it's been some time that's passed. So if there was even a time limit, I would say he either, made the people train, or whoever dictates the Dragon Ball to make the Dragon Balls more powerful. And then he basically made the simple wish to bring back Earth and to bring back all of the warriors that were there prior, and bring back like Cell or something. So he's bringing back basically everyone that he like pretty much fucked up, right? So with that being said, we can even say that he made sure they all were gathered up in one place. So everyone's brought back, right? Frieza, appears in front of everyone. So we got Goku, we got Vegeta, we got Gohan, we got Piccolo, Krillin, Cell. But this isn't just any ordinary Cell. This is 20 years of perfected Cell. Like, so he's gonna be he's really strong by default, right? He does he bring back Beerus? I say he doesn't bring back Beerus just for the annoyance factor, right? So after he brings back pretty much everyone that's relevant, so now we have for the teams, right? We would have, I'm about to explain the dynamic of having, but the teams is Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Captain Ginyu, Brawly, Cell, and shit. Damn, we only got 6. God damn it. All right, boys. I had to pause this shit and think about what the fuck I was about to do here, because there's just certain things I was going to consider. Now, I'm going to take a really drastic turn here and do something that was surprisingly not even something I would even consider. But here we go. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell, Captain Ginyu and Android 18 Body, Broly, Piccolo, the fusion of Tien and Yamcha. That'll make more sense momentarily. And then for the two last warriors, hold up. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. I'm gonna say it one more time. Goku, Vegeta, Captain Ginyu, Cell. God damn it, I keep messing this up. I'm trying to get all these people out. But I digress. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan. Got the three main Saiyans out of the way. Then we got Cell. Then we got Captain Ginyu. Then we got Broly. And then we got... I don't even think Piccolo would even be that strong, to be honest. Or would be able to get that strong. But we could say Piccolo, the fusion of Yamcha and Tien. And then for the last two warriors, it's going to be Broly's kid. And since he had twins... Yes, since he had twins, a boy and a girl, they also entered the tournament. Captain Ginyu and Broly had a kid. Now, if I said that out of context, you'd be like, what the fuck? Might actually just get the clip of me saying that before the video even starts, so niggas be like, huh? But now, I'm going to explain some brief backstory, right, for this all to make sense. So, Captain King got the body. He actually fucked with the body. You know, he was able to have a whole bunch more outfits and stuff. And also the whole, you know, infinite energy thing was kind of nice. So after, you know, technically, since this has been the body he's been in the longest out of all the different bodies he's changed into throughout his, like, body change, he kind of got attached to it. So he was like, damn, I kind of like this, you know. Got the hair, got the power. I could train forever. And, you know, all sorts of shit like this, right? So then when they found out Broly, Captain Ginyu throughout, you know, his whole, you know, deployment for Frieza was just work. Long story short, they kind of start talking a little bit. Now, you can't say this is gay because he's in a female body, but if y'all want to go that route, one, I didn't have enough memory. Two, this is actually something no one has ever even done before. So I am doing it. So they actually start talking. And 18 or Captain Ginyu was just kind of like, he seems like a nice person. He's pretty strong. They can have, you know, and you know, it was like a breath of fresh air, because growing up, Captain Ginyu was always getting not beaten, bullied, but like always had to fight. Never actually had times of peace. And in Frieza's empire, Frieza, you know, successfully being, you know, this all powerful not madman, but all powerful, just kind of nice to settle down. He never thought about having kids. I mean, this isn't his original body, and he might not even have these feelings if he was in his original body, but he thinks he would prefer someone a little shorter. He doesn't know what that's about, but he says, fuck it. So they start talking and they start chatting it up, and that's what happens. And I'm not going to say the exact age of the kids, but we can at least say they're like teenagers or something. Like, little motherfuckers been around for a little bit, okay? And they also been doing some training. So that hybrid Saiyan potential is high. All right. So now let's talk about the fighters. Goku is like complex. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Vegeta's like, huh? And then I stick my hold up. Where am I? Gohan is just like, okay. Now I'm sick and what the huh? Cell, My perfection. Everybody just come out like this days, all right? And so with all of this, everyone's like sitting here conversing and talking amongst one another, like very confused on what's going on. And then they see Frieza with a weird looking dude next to him. All right. He starts clapping. Calm down, Vegeta. Frieza! Frieza attacks him. Start trying to hit Frieza. Frieza doesn't even flinch, get angry, and none. I understand. He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, stop, Vegeta. Vegeta, as if I got you on the ropes. Frieza literally grabs this dude's hands with like 2 fingers, just pulls him in close. Stop, Vegeta. And then basically pushes him down, but like not over forcefully. Pushes him down ever so slightly. And Vegeta's like, he did that with just his hands. And then Goku, what's going on, Freezer? And he's like, calm down, Goku, son Goku. He basically touches down on the ground. All right, listen up. I needed some strong warriors, and since I only have a handful over there, that's formerly known as Captain Ginyu, Brawly, their 2 offsprings. That we have 4 strong warriors, but I needed to bring back the lot of you because we need 10, and that leaves a vacancy of 7 people. Did I do that math right? 6 people. So, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, that take cares of a better portion. So, let's see here. Do that. Boom. Gohan, Vegeta, Gohan. So, we already got that many. Cell, I'm pretty sure if you train up, you might be able to get a little stronger. So, Android 18, Captain Ginyu, Brawly, the 2 kids, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell. So that would leave 2 spots before we get to 10. And so how I would see this happening is everybody would be discussing on what their, game plan is. While this is happening, Android's just flying around, just looking around like, damn, yeah, I remember Frieza fucking y'all niggas back in the day. This is what he's saying in his head. But then he sees Krillin, and he's just like, whoa. Yep. That would have been nice to see a couple years ago. Huh. Interesting. And then, Captain Ginyu, looks down at Krillin. And what is your name? And Krillin's terrified, sensing this immense amount of power. My name is Krillin. He's like, huh, Krillin. Huh. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Flies back up. Interesting. And so, as they're, trying to figure out what they're going to do and stuff, Frieza basically tells them what's at stake here. The Earth is, back to normal. And Frieza's like, 1 second. All you hear is like something breaks the sound barrier practically. And Gero gets smacked back down to the ground. Yeah, no. I'm going to need your expertise, Doctor. And Dr. Gero's furious. He's like fuming, like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? He's like, listen, I've become a god of destruction. And what that means is he shoots like a little blast like at an ant or something. See, that ant I didn't just kill it. I wiped it out of existence. As he's like gleaming in over Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero, you remind me a bit of myself in my younger days. Listen to me closely. If you try to betray me in the slightest or hurt my soldier, I will erase you from existence, and no Dragon Balls, no nothing will be able to bring you back. But that's not before I excruciatingly torture you. Goku's like, I knew you're still the same evil Frieza like always. That's not true, monkey. Because if I was so evil, why did I bother to even bring the Earth back in full condition? Everyone looks around. Wait, it's like when we just died. Wait, who is this bug looking dude? He's like, I am Cell, perfect in every way. As I said prior, Cell, many years ago during your belt, it's either you're me or you're not. Anyways, so what are we going to do about these last little bit of warriors? Because we do see some handful of people that would be potentially useful. Because from this, we're potentially missing 2 individuals. And then Goku starts to get an idea. Wait, how long is the tournament going to last? 48 minutes, Son and Goku. Okay, I learned a couple of different techniques. So Tien, Yamcha, come here for a second. And so they start conversing, and then it happens. All you hear is a few moments later, Fusion. I am neither Yamcha or Tien. I am Tiancha. I literally just made that up on the fly, Yamcha. Okay, we're just gonna have to roll with it. And so, with that being said, so this could last, for most of the tournament power. They could basically just do it, right when the tournament happens. And Frieza's like, interesting. So we're still down a member. What to do? Looking around. What to do? This is very complex. As they're thinking, everyone is literally thinking. Even Vegeta's like stumped, like, damn, I've been dead for this long and this shit's happening now. And Gohan thinks for a second. Actually, I don't know who they would. I thought I was going to magically just come up with it, but I have no clue who they would even bring for this additional tournament of power. And then out of the out of the 2 people appear that you wasn't expecting to see. Captain Ginyu, Body, or Android 18 and 17. Android 18 and Captain Ginyu's body pulls up on him on Android 18. I would like my body back. And Captain Ginyu looks, flies over to his kiddos. I don't think so. Quite comfortable. I got me 2 kids and I got me a whole loving flat family here. I'm not too sure I would want to do that. I didn't really know the joys of, one, you have this amazing thing called infinite energy, okay? That is splendid, because I am able to train 24/7. Then she starts getting mad. Okay, if you want infinite energy, it's like nah, it's not the same. It's not the same. See, when I was a guy, and you did the little fun deeds, you get really tired and you gotta go to sleep. But when being a female and doing that, man, get all this endorphins, energy, and you feel good. No tired, no drawbacks, no nothing. It's a lot more friendlier. Plus, I've been training in this body for the longest I've trained in any other body. I think I can reach its peak performance, but we're going to need the doctor for that. And then, Android 18 is just like furious, like, I just want my body back. And it's like, hey, tough nut cookies. And then she's like, so how about this? If you train and you get strong enough, we'll have one death match. See what you can do. So after them having that weird conversation, and I don't have a name for the kids, so I'm not sorry, but like, yeah. And since that happened, right? Everyone's like, okay, what do we do now? Well, it's simple. Everyone needs to start training ASAP. And they look at 17, and 17 is going to be the final member. And then they're like, how long do we have to prepare? And Frieza says, we have 1 week. He's like, oh, that's more than enough time. And Frieza's actually, because he had a plan, but he wants to see what this Goku will come up with. So Goku actually tells everyone to, like, let's head out to where the lookout's at. So they all head over there. And it's actually kind of surreal, right? Because everyone's flying, and like Frieza's flying ahead of everybody, I guess. Or like we could say the behind. It doesn't matter which way. And so Goku, Piccolo, and like Gohan, they're all like together. And they still got like their old, they haven't got, much older, right? Due to the simple fact of, we could just say when they died, they didn't inherently need to keep their body. They knew they weren't coming back. So they just didn't have a body that aged, per se. So when they're flying around, Piccolo's like, Goku, do you think we could trust Frieza? And Vegeta's like, are you, how would Vegeta say it? He would be like, are you insane to make it? Of course we can't trust Frieza. He's the one that killed us in the first place. Or did you forget that, you damn Namekian? And then Goku's like, guys, calm down. It doesn't really matter if we can trust him or not. I mean, hell, he brought us back, and hey, look, he even brought back Earth in all its glory. Maybe after the tournament, we might be able to make a deal with him to leave us alone and never hurt Earth again. And then Gohan like pipes in, yeah, to be really honest, I mean, he could have just brought us back somewhere else, but he decides to bring us back on our planet. And even if it is a trick, I mean, what can we really do? He seems so much more stronger than what he was before. I can't even sense his ki. Piccolo, Vegeta, pretty much everyone, in that meeting circle's like, you got a point. I actually haven't been able to sense his ki, and that's worrisome. Even without sensing his, Goku saying this, even without being able to sense his ki, I can tell he's way stronger than anything I'll be able to accomplish, even if I spend all my time in this hyper alignment line chamber. And so they fly out to the lookout, make it there pretty quickly. And, Kami's not there due to the simple fact of that. But Goku teleports back after, some brief, time. Dende makes some more new Dragon Balls, this and that. Frieza allows this because he's not really too concerned, because even if he did lose his immortality, he is incredibly strong, okay? So even they did wish, Frieza wasn't immortal anymore. He doesn't even fight like he is immortal. He fights like he actually can die. And plus he's been training with Broly for some years. On top of that, Android 18's been training. They've been training together, Broly, and then they also fight Frieza. So Frieza is keeping up with his training by very good margins with, pretty strong people. So everyone talks about, the room of spirit and time. And since Tien and Yamcha are just basically humans, and they're not really going to get any, special powers or anything like that, they could just sit here, they could just focus on getting used to fusion and trying to see if they can learn anything more about that, with that, right? While everyone else decides which order they're going to go in. Since we could say Goku keeps his body, and he was training with Super Saiyan, So he decides he can go in and get his Super Saiyan level up or whatever. And then Vegeta looks over at the Bugman. He's like, "Are you strong, Bugman?" And then Cell's like, "I'm perfect." And that how it goes. So long story short, after everyone does their start to do their training, 17 and 18 have a very interesting conversation that will get skipped over. It's like, wait. And he's like, "Wait, so you're the blue guy, you're the purple guy that give me my sister's body, give my sister her body back." He's like, no. And they would just have like a brief scuffle or a brief talk. So then Frieza and Whis goes over to Dr. Gero's lab, and he wants Dr. Gero to explain everything to Whis of how everything works, right? And he gave Whis the in detailed instructions of, if he tries to pull a fast one over me, let me know immediately. On top of this, the reason he needs Whis to know is so Whis can make blueprints so that, Frieza can give to one of his minions to keep constantly upgrading Captain Ginyu, because he's seen this. So after, going a long time without being properly upgraded and, sufficient, this causes some issues, okay? So Dr. Gero starts working on Android 18 Captain Ginyu's body. There's never no way. I'll just say C18. C18, and starts working on her body and cleaning up all all the flaws and a lot of its gunk. And so after a while of this process being said and done, what ended up happening is the sword crack. No, oh God, I'm thinking too far in the head. Android 18 comes out and Frieza's like, "All right, let me see what you're working with." So they start throwing hands, and Android 18's a lot stronger. And the reason I'm just saying lot and very, because there's no power level for this. Because I'm not even saying like Frieza was able to do some good training to beat Beerus. Then after he beat Beerus, he's stronger than Beerus. Then we got, Android 18 and Brawly doing some training on top of actually having some kids for a while. Like, they're just really strong, all right? So now Frieza remembers something that Whis told him. He goes to the world of Supreme Kai, grabs the Z sword, says, "Yep," comes through, breaks the sword, and Elder Kai is like actually very confused, and he's like, "What's going on?" Gets caught up to date. So while Tien and Yamcha went in to train first, he grabs all the Saiyans and said, "Can you unlock their potential?" And then, he's like, "Of course I could." He's like, "As long as you don't track me in that cursed Z sword again." And Frieza said, "I would never." And then this is how everyone becomes ultimate. Their potential slowly but for surely gets unlocked. And this is where things start to get dumb, right? So now they got this ultimate form. So they got this immediate boost to power. Okay. Frieza looks at Piccolo and decides to send him off to planet Namek. For the simple fact of what's it called? So he can go train with his Namekian people to potentially get stronger, even though he might not be on the team. You never know, some last minute thing might change. Cell just is waiting for he actually gets his potential unlocked too. And we're just gonna say he becomes Ultimate Cell, or super perfect Cell, I guess. I don't know what it would be called for that nigga, but I digress. So we got some really strong individuals while C18 is getting upgraded and 17 is getting upgraded, right? He's only getting minor upgrades due to him not being alive, so there wasn't really much to get upgraded per se, if you know what I'm saying. Everyone's like, "Okay, now what do we do?" No. And so Frieza's like, all right. So he wants all of these niggas to learn how to use some form of God Ki, right? And the reason he needs these dudes to do this is to make sure that they actually can keep up, because he doesn't know what's waiting on the other side of the door, right? So not the other side of the door, but like during the tournament. So long story short, everybody gets God Ki that has some level of relevance, right? Also, the humans do get it. So once everyone gets, the basic concept of God Ki, everyone eventually takes their round turn into, the time chamber. Gohan, Gohan and Goku go in. Vegeta and Cell go in. I'm trying to make sure I keep this right here. Cell, Vegeta, Gohan, Tien and Yamcha went in. They also got their God Ki and their potential unlocked. I mean, that for the most part, that's pretty much almost everyone that needed to go in, because Brawly's been training with God Ki. Android 18 wouldn't really need it, but I don't know how with God Ki would work with the infinite energy. Plus, their two kids would have already been training with it and been training something, very, very proficiently. So I don't think they would need any, last minute catch up. So basically, they allowed, these dudes to spend a lot of their time catching up and training and doing a lot of push ups, sit ups, and drinking plenty of juice to somewhat catch up. And they also do some training in Whis staff, because Whis went in there, and we could just say they all went in there at the same time. All right, so they're not even playing these games while some of them are also on Whis staff. And since Bulma's alive, they just go over her and she makes a whole bunch of capsule that has a crap load of food. So everybody spends, what is it? They spend 7 years in the time chamber, basically. Well, it's going to be a little bit longer than 7 years in the time chamber, due to the simple fact of some of them also went into Whis' staff, but they spent basically a good little chunk of time training in the time chamber. Like, they wasn't playing none of these games. And when they come out, I'm gonna keep it to where like everyone did their own theme, but they also kind of stayed pretty close to one another. So it wasn't like, one person did this or another person did this. Cell not getting like no golden form or anything like that. He just gets really strong. Goku and Gohan eventually perfect Super Saiyan God. I don't believe blue should even be relevant. I just don't like it, but that's its own episode. So we could say they get like a perfected Super Saiyan God, or like like a mystic God form, okay? If we wanted to go there, since everyone has their ultimate. Same thing with Vegeta, they just got like this boosted ultimate with God Ki. Tien and Yamcha actually practiced different versions of the dance, since Goku had an ample amount of time there, so they're able to potentially even get their time up to like an hour or so. And he also showed them the Kaioken with the help of Cell, showing the Kaioken. So everyone comes out pretty strong, and the best way to test how strong they are is they sent out Brawly's two kids. And Brawly's like, it's okay, show them, basically. So one kid is gonna just, it's a blend of Android 18 and Brawly. So one kid's got like a unique kind of like gi, like it's almost like if Brawly wore Goku's gi, but with slight color variations. And so he starts fighting off. First, he fights off Cell. Cell actually gives him a good run for his money. It's actually, he's pretty strong. Then Cell starts cranking it up, but then the kid turns Super Saiyan, and then one shot Cell. Vegeta steps into the play, tries this again, goes ultimate. He's actually able to keep up with the Super Saiyan. So it's like, okay, we're making progress. And all right, kiddos, right now I'm outside, so here we go. Let's get this shit over with. I should be able to finish at least more of the what if where I left off at. So basically I left off with these niggas fighting Brawley's kids, and one, I couldn't find imagery for these niggas, and I was able to find something off of Google of what these dudes look like, what I wanted them to look like, something that would match. So it would be obviously a blend of Brawley and C18, right? So how I want this to work, right, is instead of them fighting, right, basically what would end up happening is I apologize for this audio, but I'm trying to get this video done. It's so long. But how this works is everybody, you know, does fight, but instead of just fighting like Brawley's kid and going through who's stronger and all this type of stuff, we just have it to where everyone like fights Frieza or something. And Goku and Vegeta try to fight Frieza. Everyone tries to fight Frieza just because Frieza needs to see if, you know, these dudes are up to par. So Frieza's actually impressed on how fast the Saiyans were able to grow in such a short period of time. So we have practically adult Gohan almost, right? And we also have all these other warriors looking way much better, but we also have these niggas smelling like hot dog shit. Like, so, you know, Whis cleans these niggas up and, you know, gives them his famous gi. So now imagine everybody getting trained by Whis. So Frieza asked the monkeys to perform the dance. He's like, all right, Goku, Vegeta, do that fusion technique. I want to see it. He basically is like, I want to see it in live action, right? So what happens is they end up hitting the whole fusion. Born the fighter. I'm neither Goku or Vegeta. I am Gogeta. Has entered the battlefield, right? So now what happens is Frieza's like, all right, power up to your max form. And so they basically power up, and then Frieza's like, humans, do the same thing. And the humans proceed to fuse. And then Frieza now questions, I wonder, Whis, do you think it would be possible for them, for their fusions to stack on top? I'm not sure. Hold on, I'll do that Whis voice. I'm not sure, my lord, but it may be possible. I can't even do the Whis voice right now. God damn it, Beerus. You know this shit. I was doing it earlier. But anyways, Whis would be like, but I think I might know a better solution. Due to this fusion being, you know, 30 minutes, this and that. There might be a better way, because they might not be able to, you know, perform that technique in time, right? So Whis, you know, leaves, comes back, and then enter the Potara earrings. And so what's end up gonna happen is everyone is, you know, given, you know, Potara earrings respectfully. Goku and Vegeta have Potara earrings. Yamcha and Tien, since they're gonna fuse anyways, they're gonna do it. But what the game plan here is if they exert themselves beyond, you know, normal capacity, they can easily put on the Potara earrings and get another 30 minutes of fusion, since they're basically gonna fuse the second they get into the like arena, like right before the match starts and right before anyone can see anything, right? And so that's gonna be that. And also Frieza's not taking no chances, because he wants to be able to potentially, you know, rule over these other universes. So he says, fuck this shit, little niggas. He said, yeah, hey, Goku. I don't know who he would talk to. I think he would talk to, since he killed Krillin. And he's like, Krillin, well, human, bald human, Yamcha, chow to all these niggas, look at him, huh? God damn it. The one with the one without a nose. And then basically talking to Krillin, what was those green things you were eating all those years ago? And Krillin sheepishly do you mean senzu beans? I can't even do his voice. Do you mean senzu beans? Yes, senzu beans. Excellent. And he's like, do any of y'all have any said senzu beams? Goku's like, I can go teleport to the, well, since everyone's at the lookout, they would just go down to, you know, Korin, grab a couple, and Frieza's like, toss me one. He catches one. He, you know, hands one over to Whis. Is there any way you can make a copy of those? And since Whis' power is plot, you know what we're about to do here, boys. We're gonna use his plot power, and he's able to make a couple of them, right? So what he does is he basically, you know, makes sure everyone has at least one senzu beam with these niggas, right? Nobody needs to know. And then Whis is even like, my lord, you know, if you get caught for this, you may not get to reign over these other universes. And then Frieza's like, very well, then I'll accept this. He's basically saying, fuck it. You know, shit, I'm already kind of being cheeky with this fusion shit. I might as well. Plus, he kind of got a feel for Zeno. Zeno doesn't care about nothing. He's a child, right? So, with this childlike mentality, Frieza actually, before he left, he talked to Zeno just a little bit longer. And he actually asked Zeno, hey, Zeno, don't you want to see a really strong warriors? And then Zeno's like, yes, I want to see people fight. He's like, all right, so would it be okay if I made sure those warriors were able to keep fighting? Long story short, he indirectly tricked Zeno without tricking Zeno. If that makes any sense, right? This is still in line to some degree with this character, right? So boom. Now, after all of this is said and done, they pull up to a tournament of power. So we got Yamcha, we got that, I don't even know if that's that nigga Tiamcha? Tiamcha, I think is what I said originally. We got that nigga, we got Cell up in this bitch, right? We got Brawly, 18 with, you know, the repairs, right? Sheesh. Hold up, damn it, I always do this every time I'm trying to say the goddamn names. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell, Yamcha, Brawly, 18, his kids, and we also got, I want to say we got 17. I'm gonna say 17. It could have been anyone, but I think 17 would be all right here, just because. Plus, so what ended up happening is they'll have a team leader, which will be Gohan this time around, and he actually leads the fucking team. Instead of Vegeta and Goku going off, you know, maliciously, with this Gohan being a lot more like future Gohan in the sense of his mentality, they try to run off, he flares up his ki. Hey, what the fuck y'all niggas doing? Do y'all not remember how we got rolled up by Frieza? Y'all trying to play these games, we get this chance at life and y'all want to scurry off and try to go fight some strong people? No, we need to stay together and patiently wait this game out. So after, you know, putting his damn foot down, right? Like the goddamn role model he is, he tells these niggas like, nah, bro, we not doing none of that bullshit, right? Everybody gets together, and so what they do is they kind of attack in like a squadron kind of like thing. And then since most of the universes don't matter, besides a handful of them, and the tournament of power had no reason to happen because Beerus was dead, and I'm gonna say that Champa didn't even bother coming over to the universe or bother even getting the Dragon Balls, just because of how strong he heard Frieza to be if Frieza was able to take out Beerus, all right? So, none of that happens. The Saiyans are gonna actually be a hell of a lot weaker. So after a while, Gohan tells everyone, disperse. And everybody goes out, you know, do their own thing, right? So what would happen is you would see, I don't even know what I would call Brawly's son, but fuck. I gotta think of some generic name. We could just say Brawly's son is like Perlu. I guess Perlu, I want to come up with something better, but most of this is a freestyle. So Perlu and Lavi, yeah, that's the Lavi, I guess, I don't know. Lavi's the daughter, all right? Those niggas, you know, come through with the swiftness, right? They going in, they about to fight the Saiyans, right? And once again, these Saiyans are hella weak in comparison and shit, right? So they about to come through with this qualities. Well, Saiyans talking, oh shit. Lavi's like, man, let me show y'all niggas how a female really get down. Man, she start throwing good hands with these niggas. Kaba and Kel don't know what to do. Get it folded. You know, the Brawly clone, she's like, oh no, my friends are in trouble. But before she can do none of that, they shoot, send these niggas flying. Also, let me add another detail that I wanted to add just to make it spicy. I forgot to tell you there was one additional rule. In this tournament of power, killing is allowed. So with that being said, these niggas fucking niggas up, right? They everybody going in, Vegeta going in, boom, Gallic gun, boosh. It's basically, it's like a one-sided slaughter, right? For the most part. But you know, since killing's allowed, this is gonna make one universe a little more prevalent. All right. So what ended up happening, right? You know, Brawly's kids, he fucking these niggas out. But it's only Lavi. She's the only one doing shit, right? Because you know, the son's actually standing back checking out that girl behind, like, oh, she look good. Come here, baby girl. Let me talk to you. You know, and that shit, right? She started getting mad. She tried to go berserk, right? Start beating up on this nigga. And you also see the Brawly resemblance when the son starts getting beat on, right? Because he starts like having this weird sadistic laugh. He looks a lot more, instead of like the picture I tried to show, if I did show it, he looks a lot like a younger Brawly from the canon, not canon, but a younger Brawly from the movie, like before he transforms. And this nigga is laughing maniacally. He's like, yes, finally. It's been a while since I was able to find a female that actually got the blood going. And as he says that, he starts powering up himself. And she starts to keep hitting him. He just powers up while Jiren's off there meditating like a little bitch, right? He powers up like, ah, yeah. So they just start basically brutally duking it out. But with each punch and each blow, you can see that Khalifa or Kel? I don't know what the fucking Brawly wannabe is. I don't remember what the bitch's name is. She started getting beat on really bad. You almost feel bad for her the way she's getting beat on. And then, hold up. He like starts beating on her more and just started getting really sadistic. He like grabs her by the noggin and like puts her on his back. And like they can't fly, but he walks over to Frieza. He's like, Lord Frieza. I mean, he's not like an ass kiss. He's just like, Lord Frieza. And he's like, what? He's like, hey, when we're done winning this tournament, as he blasts somebody to like smithereens without even thinking about it, right? What the hell? And he blasts that nigga to smithereens and shit, right? And after that, he's like, hey, Lord Frieza, can I keep this one? And Frieza just chuckles. That has nothing to do with me. But if you decide to bring her back with us when we're done, that is completely up to you. He said, excellent. Now listen to me, while Finger's holding out a finger. If she destroys 1 ounce of my empire, the deal's off. He said, yes, sir. And then the tournament continues normal. He like throws Kel at Frieza, and Frieza smacks that bitch down with the tail. He's like, yeah, finally, somebody with the same power as me and my father. We're just gonna presume that Lavi doesn't have the same power, okay? So, with that being said, you know, that nigga continues fighting. Meanwhile, Lavi is sitting here throwing good hands with the nigga.
And, you know, she's like, all right, that's enough. Y'all niggas getting on my nerves. So she bitch slaps Kel. I don't know these niggas. Califa? She bitch smacked the other bitch, all right? There's only 2 females here. She gets big smacked. Kaba gets hit in the fucking chest and then gets curb stopped. And both of these niggas kind of got that like that small sadistic side of Brawley for some reason. Saiyan genes is pretty dominant. So she's like, oh yes, yeah, you look good. She talking to this nigga like, damn, I do like me a little. I don't know what she would call him, like, you know, I do like my man pretty soft or some shit like that. I don't know. Might be the Saiyan blood talking. And as this is happening, he sees, like, you know, his teammate down on the ground leaking, all right? Big body, blood everywhere type shit. He's like, yeah, it will not let you hurt my friends. And he goes Super Saiyan. Bitch smacks that nigga back down. Stupid, nigga. Nigga, you think Super Saiyan gonna do nothing, nigga? Nigga, we real niggas out here on these streets, nigga. You think a mere Super Saiyan? Man, start beating on that nigga some more. Almost, that shit almost too funny. Then, right before she about to finish both these niggas up, all right, crush your will, crush your everything, time to die. And she looks down at him. Bye, sweetheart. See you later. And then right before they, you know, die, time skip, you know, hit comes through. Lavi get hit with that 90-piece combo, no sauce. She gets slumped quick, ass in the air and everything, looking like Raccoon Beckham Namet. Mad goof, right? So, after that bullshit happened, everybody realizes, like, what the fuck was that? Excuse me? Bitch is hurt. She mad. Hit pulls up, grabs his homies, and run off on the plug twice. Never to be heard from again.
So after, which I'm inside now, but after that, you know, hit ran off, the fucking Lavi, she's damaged hard. She's like, damn, that shit hurt. She's like, I can't move. And then other niggas start pulling up on some like hentai flow, like, yeah, we a smooth dude. But before they could do anything, Brawley sees this. He tries to make it over there, but he's not fast enough. But surprisingly enough, we would have 17 come through and just, you know, take care of these niggas real quick for the, god damn. He take care of them, long story short. Sends them packing pretty fast, pretty hard, right? And so what happens is after that, it's like, even though you're technically not 18's kid, you're still 18's kid, right? And so, you know, that happens. Now let's talk about the other warriors. Goku is off just fighting, you know, more of the no names. I mean, most of this is like them just literally blowing through the competition, if we're being 100% realistic. On top of the training they did in Afterlife, for some of them, now on top of, you know, the training they did now, we're literally just slowly getting to the climax, which is poorly executed, or not executed. Anyways. So we need to get to where we're talking about Goku and them not really doing too much, right? So we gonna skip all this filler-ish to some degree, and we're gonna get to more around when we start getting around to the end of the tournament. The fusion still has plenty of time since it's only 48 minutes, okay? And they haven't been doing too much fighting, so they've been able to make sure their time stays preserved. And everyone, for, you know, the main universe is chilling. Frieza's actually liking this, thinking that they might even need to use their fusion, or they might even need to use like their sensu beams, right? Champa is just in there mean mugging Frieza, but Frieza doesn't pay much mind. So now let's get into like more of the juicier fights, all right? Hit said, you know what, I'm done playing these games with y'all niggas. Because let's just say that, word of the grand, got out that Frieza became the new god of destruction just because of how highly the universe was like, praised. But the reason he's partaking is because he wants to get basically permission to go to other universes. And you know what? Since Zeno was planning to race these niggas anyways, let them have a tournament to see which Captain Ginyu suggested. Let's see if, they are willing to see if Frieza wins, then he'll grant him permission, but there's no guarantee that he'll survive this. It's kind of like what he's saying. And now we would continue to where, Hit saying, fuck all you niggas, I'm about to fuck y'all shit up. And since Hit heard about, Frieza being devious and all this type of stuff, he's mad. Topo's mad too because he's about to go dumb, go crazy, right? He's like, man, seeing that y'all have such a evil god of destruction will not stand for this. And so he starts going stupid. Jiren hasn't even really bothered to fight until just recently, which he's basically, got told, get your ass up, little nigga. Finish these niggas off one time for the one time. And with Hit, Jiren, and Topa all on the killing sprees, niggas start getting knocked out, right? The two Saiyans that are remaining, okay, are struggling. They gotta recover. Hit told these niggas, y'all recover y'all energy because if I fail, y'all my backup plan. We still got the Namekian, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna last, right? So Hit goes off on his journey. Tobo starts, trying to fuck up. So he pulls up on 17. 17 and Gohan see this nigga and they start, duking it out. They would have some type of dialogue talking about like, damn, how can you fight for such a shameful god, this and that. And 17 was about to say something, but Gohan says there's no need to justify it. All we need to do is win. 17 said, I like that, kid. Okay, bet. And so they take like a stance and they proceed to start fighting back. And, God of Destruction, Topo's pretty strong, so they throwing some hard hands. They throwing some heavy hitters, right? It's some good hands. So we got that fight, right? I'm gonna come right back to it. But now we gotta talk about what Hit's doing, because Hit started going on his tread. He started not playing these games, right? Hit pulls up against Tayancha, the fusion of Yamcha Tien, damn it. He started pulling up and start fucking these niggas up, right? They getting beat on. So they start like pulling out some tricks out of their sleeve, but it's not enough. Hit's time skip, it's just overlaps, and since no one's ever seen it and they're allowed to kill, that nigga falls in battle. RIP, right? Like that nigga gets beat to like near death, okay? And he was about to get hit with the finish blow, but we'll just say Goku comes through and he's like, I won't let you do that. And so Goku comes through, powering him, and they start fighting. He's like, you got an interesting technique. He takes a stance. Let me see how strong you really are. Goku powers up and starts fighting. Actually, yeah, I would have Goku fight him. So Goku's gonna fight off Hit. So while that's happening, Broly's son pulls up on Hit too eventually. Actually, I say Broly's son go fight that fucking Beerus clone. Fight this Beerus clone for a little bit. While that's happening, any of the other like fodder people basically get knocked out. Like Cell knocks him out pretty easily. Vegeta's and they're like taking care of business too. So long story short, we got like Vegeta watching. After Vegeta's done with that, he's gonna go try to fuck up Jiren, right? Cell actually goes and want to just watch. You want to see this. He's like, let's see what that Prince of All Saiyans can do. Well, I guess we could say King, but he mumbles that to himself. So Vegeta goes off and is about to try to face up with Jiren. Broly pulls up and C18 pulls up, right? So everybody's like ready to duke it down. But before we get to that, like climactic, we need to go back a little bit, okay? So now, while Goku's fighting off Hit, nothing, nothing big here. But we got 17, go on to 17. 17's, fighting and everything, but eventually this fight started getting too much for them. And so 17's like, I got an idea, but I don't know if it's gonna work or not. He's like, what? I got a bomb in my chest. He's like, uh-huh. He's like, I can blow up, and that should damage him. And I want you to finish him off. He said, Gohan was like, say less. Now, Gohan normally wouldn't be as savage or ruthless, but you gotta remember this dude died at a young age, on top of being brought back by the person he's alive. He's not, he makes future Gohan look like a cupcake almost, okay? Like, this nigga just built different. And I'm not saying it's just to like, ooh, Gohan fan. I just literally think that would, I don't know how other reaction of fucking 7-year-old, I think he was. He probably was even younger. When he died, became a Super Saiyan, and then got rolled up by like this space alien. Like, he didn't have a childhood, okay? So anyways, that shit happens, blows up, Toppo gets heavily damaged, and while he's damaged, Gohan starts beating on him, no mercy, and then finishes him off with a special beam Kamehameha. It's a little something he put together himself. And so he finished, Toppo off with that, right? So after he gets finished, we would go back to Goku versus Hit. This fight actually turns out, pretty juicy. They're throwing some quality hands, but Goku actually doesn't and isn't able to beat Hit. So what ended up happening is, while Broly's son came through and started, helping out, they actually die because Hit kind of got, used to it. He started evolving and improving and trying something he never thought about doing up until now. But since his universe is on the line, might as well. He starts, beating up on these niggas, right? He takes out Broly's son, and then he takes out Goku. So boom, boom, out of commission, dead, no more, right? And Frieza's like, God damn it, damn monkeys. He trying to keep his composure and shit. But it's like, God damn it, these niggas. Man, damn. Ooh, you look up now in that ring with y'all niggas. Ooh. So after they get, fucked up or whatever, and GG's, right? Gohan wanted to go help, but kind of got interrupted because Broly sent his son Ki, and he got a lot more control. So he's just like, all right, bet. I'm gonna fuck up this Jiren dude. And then, actually, I'll say he stops what he's doing, and he goes help. And 18 stops what she's doing, and she goes help. So they're like, shit. So Jiren and Vegeta make eye contact, and Vegeta's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Jiren's like, no. And good hands commence, okay? They start throwing some quality smoke at each other. Good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands, boom, boom, boom. And so that's happening, right? Broly and so they all were fighting together, but they was doing, decent damage, but they took more damage. So 18 and Broly, they come in mad, just, you fucked our kids up. So they start throwing hands, but Hit's untouchable at this point in time, right? His times gets proved won by leaps and bounds. So fuck a second. He's getting up to 2, 3, 4 seconds, right? So he sees him and he come in. So after a while, Broly starts getting angry. He's like, ah. And right before he even tries to, overpower, he paralyzes C18, and she's basically out of commission for a little bit. She's just down on the ground, fuck, right? And so when that happened, right, Broly starts fighting as hard as he can. Not good enough. And right before he starts going berserk, he decides to, put Broly in his time Rasengan. And it's surprisingly not, it works. Broly can't move. he tosses Broly out due to the fact of trying to kill him might be a little overwhelming. So Broly's actually tired, taxed out, and everything. While he looks over at Edra 18, and he's about to finish her, but Lavi comes through and saves the day. You know, she's mad. She's in Super Saiyan 3. And now you might be like, why does she not, use God? She knows how to use God, but they kind of don't need it. Like, they have the potential of Brawling, also being trained by C18, and they're really strong. So they've never been pushed to the point where they really wanted to use those. And personally, I'm not the biggest fan of those transformations. This is why I gave almost every person ultimate. But since they were already just so leaps and bounds beyond everyone else, they was like, nah, we're good. So when it happened was they hit and them start duking it out. She mad. Boom, 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 boom. Throwing some quality hands, but hit time skip, start fucking with her. One arm, another arm, kidney, headed. Basically treating her like she Vegeta. Vegeta sneezes while fighting Jiren. So that nigga gets slumped out, GG's, knocked out, right? And she's basically about to kill Laffy, right? And right before, she gets hit with that Supreme Blast, 18 jumps in the way, says, well, hell no, you are not about to hurt C18s. You are not about to hurt this life I was able to create. So she like blocks it with her body and just, I'll just say he's about to hit her with like a blast or something, like some move that makes it blast, okay? She blocks it, reminiscing to like how Gohan did during the, Saiyan saga. And boom, Lavi can't do nothing. She's down on the ground. But as this is happening, Gohan comes through and start throwing some hands. Yamcha, wait, actually, that nigga is out. Yeah, he's out. Cell is just watching. He's like, fantastic. These niggas are fighting deviously. Cell's just watching. He's basically pulling a frieza. And so, pretty much everyone's out. Now we're just down to like, the last few. Everybody's like, damn, it starts to get kind of bleak. Gohan pulls up, start trying to fight with Hit. Hit is just a beast. Gohan's like, all right, bet. I seen what you did to my father. I'm not playing these games. He got fucked up, all right? He didn't get killed or anything. He just got fucked up. But right before he got fucked up, Cell pulls up and is like, let me help you out, Gohan. Let me show you the power of my perfection. And he powers up and just basically not blasts Cell away, but emits a really large amount of ki. Like, but I'm not gonna fight you. I'll let them fight you. An army of Cell Juniors pull up, all menacing looking and shit. Gang, gang, so woo, woo, woo. They pull up and Hit starts fucking these niggas up. No mercy, just no mercy, no mercy, no mercy. And as this is happening, cells just keep producing more and 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 more. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it for a good little minute. But we'll worry about that momentarily, right? So Vegeta and Jiren, they throwing some hands. Good hands, good hands, good hands. And I do apologize if I'm like missing some details here, but like I'm doing a lot of mental gymnastics while trying to also keep this somewhat entertaining, all right? So bear with your boy. And I normally don't make videos this long. So good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands. Boom, 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 boom. They throwing some Big Daddy Supreme hand, but Jiren is Jiren. And for some reason, and for plot's sake, he's too strong. Goku had to go Ultra Instinct to beat this nigga. Vegeta's strong. He's been training for 7+ years recently, but not that strong. Not strong enough. So he get hit with that, right? He get hit with that Supreme bang gang gang, goom, 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 goom. Just start beating on this nigga ruthlessly, right? And so what ended up happening, right? He eventually gets like blasted into smithereens. Not enough to kill him, but it's enough to fuck him up. So he out of commission. So he out of commission, right? And so that's very very sad because I think Gohan's the only nigga left from his universe, dog. So everybody got, it's all on Gohan and shit, right? And so while this is happening, he's trying to recover because, I don't want to, do that sensu beam shit yet. But also as Vegeta was getting knocked out, he threw some over and Gohan, and Gohan was like, all right, bet. Now, I'm not going to say he did that. Pretend like I didn't say that. So Cell Juniors keep popping out. And hits like, no matter how many of these you throw at me, I will kill them all the same. Like, he on that shit, right? And so what happens, right, is Cell's like, all right, Gohan. He looks at Gohan. I'm going to go take care of that Jiren guy. And while that's happening, I'm going to say that, because I forgot, I knew I was forgetting somebody. It just didn't I forgot. I was forgetting about somebody. But Lavi's still here. She took care of Dispo, pretty effortlessly. And while she's doing that, she's fully, recovered in the sense. She hasn't used the sensu beam yet. But the problem is she might need to be using one pretty soon because that Namekian pulls up, and instead of just being two of them, it's just one of them fused with all these niggas. And she starts getting dogged on. She mad. She getting angry and angry. She's like, I am not in the mood today. So she powers up. And just like, she powers up into Super Saiyan 3. She's like, I'm not taking this shit. This nigga start leaving and hitting her with some combos like no other. Like, damn, like on some Naruto Storm 4, you don't got no substitution type shit, right? You getting fucked. No up, just fucked, all right? And so after, getting this massive beam, she's like, all right, I don't want to use this, but I always did train this. She powers back down. She calms down. She keeps her mind calm. And her hair turns into a fiery red. Everyone can sense this sudden jump in power. And then a mean hole through the Namekian is there. But the Namekian's able to get back regenerate. But at this moment, enter God Lavi. She does actually something similar to what Frieza did to Nail, and Frieza kind of gets a good chuckle out of this. Rips this dude apart, and I mean in a violent way, not just, it's an arm, no, I mean like legs are getting ripped, ripped, and then a head gets ripped off. She's like, I'm not in the mood today. I just saw both my parents get basically murdered in front of my eyes. We are not playing these games. So she powers up. She's just letting her power soar. She's like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. These niggas got rolled up. My brothers got rolled up. I am not playing these games. I would scream louder, but obviously I can't. So she's like, she looks over and still see, that universe, universe 6. She's like, who am I for? She looks over and basically starts scouring for where these niggas are at, right? While Cell is holding off Jiren and waiting for reinforcements. He's doing something similar he did to Jiren, but it doesn't work because Jiren's power, all right? So start throwing some hands eventually. Cell's actually, kind of weakened, from all those Cell Juniors, but he can wait. He's waiting, all right? So as, the fight's going on, they're throwing hands. Go. Good hands. Gohan fights Hit, and since Gohan's actually getting around too and knows how Hit's ability works, he eventually is able to start fighting back more precisely. And then he also decides to, pull out a move he didn't think he was going to use. Since Gohan technically kind of feels like Goku should have, finished Frieza off the second he had a chance, instead of playing around with Frieza and letting Frieza charge up to his full power and all this stuff. He kind of fucks with Vegeta a little more, right? So he decides to do another move, the Gallic Kamehameha. Not the Gallic Kamehameha. Yeah, that. You know what I'm trying to say, kids. And if somebody says I don't, I will shoot. And so, that happens, and then that's one of his stronger moves. And he pushes his power. And he's like, ah! And then poof, sends, hit flying out of the ring. Barely, beat up, bruised, and battered. And he's just on the ground for a little. He's like, God damn, I'm tired. But before he could fully, embrace this tiredness, he senses a lot of, ki flaring off. And he's like, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? He looks over and sees Kaba and Khalifa fused. To make a whole new world. I'm not about to attempt to try to say a fusion name because I barely know the names. So they fused into like this new warrior, right? And they start throwing some good hands, and eventually they go to like Super Saiyan 2. All right, cool. Throwing some good hands, but like, little mama, Lavi, she's not in the mood, right? So she started fucking these niggas up, beating on these niggas maliciously. And she taking out almost all her anger issues on these niggas, right? So all her anger issues getting taken out on these niggas, all right? Like, Big Debo. She's like, why do everyone gotta die? I gotta rule this section. I gotta do all this. Like almost like you getting an ass whooping. Didn't I tell you not to do this, that? Right? So it'd be some shit. All right? So that's happening. Then why do I got to always be I should have just used my power. Like, she's mad. She's like, I should just use my full power from the beginning. I should have listened to Lord Frieza. I should have. He told me, hey, you might want to train, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't want to listen. I don't think I'm good. I don't think I'm a Saiyan. She's mad. So after about 2 seconds of this brutal beat, she like looks at the fusion, looks at the earrings, and rips them out, right? And then they defuse. And while they're defused, she grabs the female and just like rips her arms off, right? And you might be like, oh my God, why is this so brutal? One, if you made it to this part of the video, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Like, real nigga shit, all right? And the second thing is, bro, you can't tell me people, one, she's the daughter of Broly, okay? Two, you can't tell me someone trained by Frieza wouldn't be a little malicious. And three, if we got these galactic super strong beings, you can't tell me they just not gonna say fuck it one day. Anyways, so she starts like brutally like dissecting this female, and she's like screaming, and then like breaks her jaw. It's like, I'm sick of all this screaming, like menacing looking down at her while blood's everywhere. Die. Like blasts her. All right. Looks at Kaba, who's like, you looking like some meat today. Kaba is terrified. He like tries to run, all right, run off the stage because he doesn't want no more smoke. He's like, oh no, I'm out. I'm good. I'm gravy. He's trying to run. She says no, none of that. She makes a move. She like makes like a lasso, right? And binds this nigga, like his legs, or at least like one of his legs are like tethered to him somehow. Basically, he can't run away. She walks to this nigga slow, and it's menacing. Like, if you were watching this, it's like watching Goblin Slayer episode 1. She's walking towards them, and each step you can feel what's about to happen to him. She like pulls him over, and she's all nice about it. She's like, damn. And she was like grabbing to his face, and she looks him in the eye, and she's like, damn. It's crazy. Because like, if we met outside of this, I would have probably made you my toy or my pet. But we met as enemies, so you know what's gonna happen. He is crying. He is screaming. He's like, I wasn't built for this episode. And she's like, don't worry. I'm here to fix that. You'll remember this moment for the rest of your short life. And so she begins the abuse, right? And let me paint the picture of how abusive this is, right? She has his arms bind with like some really like you know what Goku did against Broly. So it's like that, but like special, like focused, right? She has his arms bind, but it's above his head, right? And then she has his legs bind down. We could say there's like kind of like onto the stage. It doesn't matter where. And then she's just on top, looking at him. He's crying, begging her not to do this, and like, please don't. And like, it's just really just because like it's so much suspense and build up for what's about to happen that you don't want it to happen, right? And you know what's gonna happen. You know it's going to happen. Like, there's no stopping it type shit, right? So she begins to just start welling on him. But she don't start at the face. No. She builds up first. She looks down at his pants. And she just starts and just starts beating on him. Just starts beating on him. Just she is furious. All right. Oh, it's got to be left behind. I guess I'm not the good kid because I don't got the goddamn legendary form. Well, if it's bloody legendary, of course I wouldn't have the form. Starts like beating. Boom, boom. Then she moves up to like the lower ab, starts doing this, starts beating on Kappa's face, just kicking, just beating. And each hit you can feel the heavy thump, just boom, 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 boom. And for the people that do remain and the people that do see this, they're like, oh my God. Except Frieza, Whis, and that's about it. Everyone else is just kind of like, ooh. The people that are alive, because pretty much everyone got killed, okay? So beat. And when you thought it was over, after the blood and everything, she grabs him by the face and forces him to swallow a ki blast, or at least that's what we thought. When, her mom sacrificed herself, to save her, she threw the centipede. So what she did, she gave Kappa one of the extra sensu beams. He was fully healed. He got a Zenkai boost. He tried to fight back. He got up. He went Super Saiyan 2 for a brief moment. He started fighting back and she let him hit him and everything. She looked at him with these like beaming red eyes. I don't know what color eyes Super Saiyan God has. I don't remember off top. But her eyes were piercing through his soul. He knew it was just a ploy. He knew he wasn't strong enough. He realized it 2 seconds too early. She grabs him by the arm and just starts breaking. Actually, reminiscing to Frieza versus Goku. Not such a pleasant memory for Frieza, but Frieza kind of feels a little amused, right? Grabs the arm and just breaks every single hand muscle. I mean, every bone in there is gone. It's jelly. Bad. And she does the same thing, but with your leg. She looks at the kneecap, grabs the heel of his leg, and just breaks it. Brutal. Just he's on the ground. He's like, why? Then she stops. This nigga other leg is gone. Looks at his arm and she starts playing break. Just and she's not just breaking the whole hand. No. She breaks the top part, the bottom part, and then when she's finished, rip. Then after that, she just gets back on top of the nigga and proceeds to beat. And each hit gets harder and harder until when she's done, it's just blood everywhere. And she's like, all right, now that that's done, I've calmed down a little bit. She looks. She sees Cell throwing some quality hands with Jiren, and she sees Gohan fighting against Hit, and she's like, interesting. As she walks, looks around, looking at these fuckers. Nice. She's debating on where she wants to put her attention at. She just got so much energy, so much anger, and then she dies. She's dead. Yeah. She might not have that super leg, that legendary form, but she does have an influx of high key, she hasn't learned how to control it. So she kind of like blew up. Yeah. We all thought that was gonna go different. I'm even surprised too. Yep. Gohan, fighting Hit, uses Sensory Beam, continues to fight it, and Hit's like, it's almost like he had a full recovery. That's weird. So as that fight's happening, it's very brutal, it's very vicious, right? They eventually back up, and Hit's actually taking only minimum damage due to the simple fact is he's not being touched. And he keeps improving his time skip, right? So what ended up happening is Cell fights Jiren. Cell gets fucked up. Jiren grabs him by the wrist, rips his hand off, throws the hand, and Cell's like screaming in agony and all this other stuff. Jiren eventually gets close to him and just, blasts him into smithereens, not leaving a single cell behind. No pun intended, but pun intended. And after all of this, everyone's perfectly spread apart. So it's Gohan, Jiren, and Hit. They all look at each other. They all realize they're the last fuckers in this fight. Everyone else is gone. It's just them. Everybody, they actually just sit there for a few minutes like, damn, we kind of tired. And they like, damn, I'm kind of tired too. Jiren talking shit like shit. Y'all niggas weak. Y'all don't know what real power is, blah, blah, blah. Hit's like, nigga, I'm gonna fuck y'all niggas up, man. I'm gonna show y'all why they call me the assassin that never misses, nigga. Gohan's like, bro, I'm gonna show y'all niggas why. Yeah, y'all gonna remember the name, son. Gohan, bro. Everybody get up. Everybody take their stances respectfully. They all look at each other. Despite this being one weird, bleak situation, I'm not gonna lie to you, everybody had a high level of respect for everyone that made it to this point. Everybody powers up and they begin to duke it out. And I mean vicious. And it's like switch. Sometimes Gohan and Hit going against each other. And then other time it's a Hit and Jiren attacking Gohan. And then other times it's just a straight fucking free fall. Just boom, 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 God, boom, boom. It's brutal. It's brutal. Devious. Demon out. Like this fight, you almost, if you didn't experience it yourself, you would think this whole was 100 years on some shit. So they duking it for a good little minute. Only like what, 15 minutes left, I guess. Bam, bam, bam. Good hands. Hit time skip is fucking probably like dumb high, but not. We're gonna keep it somewhat grounded, I guess. I mean, this whole power scale shit's off the charts, anyways. But let's just say it's like 10 seconds. This nigga start trying to fuck these niggas over to, trying to hit all these pressure points. Jerry said, "Fuck this shit." He going plus ultra. Gohan says, "Nah, nigga, I'm gonna show y'all why y'all niggas should be. Y'all gonna remember this thing, nigga." He said, "I'm gonna show you the damn power of a human, nigga." So these niggas start overpowering this shit. So everybody just start throwing hands at like crazy dumb high speeds, bro. It's some good hands, but eventually they start throwing good hands enough, and for some reason they like Jiren and Gohan nod at each other, and then like in the mix of them fighting, they just like charge it, like Hit real quick and just start jumping this nigga just on some Shinsu Kaizu flow. Even though I've never watched it, we all seen that one clip. They just start beating on this nigga. Just good hands, beat. And then they just basically like fucking Deku All Might smash that nigga out of oblivion. Alright. That nigga got, sent in the bleachers, slumped, gone, dead, over. Alright. Then after that, Jiren and Gohan take a step back. Both of them nearly almost about to fall. They start throwing some hands too. Jiren start beating on Gohan, something devious. He just start beating on this nigga, bro. And it's like that Naruto Sasuke. I love how I made so many references in such a short period of time. It's that Naruto Sasuke after they use all their chakra. That end of the fight, good part of the fight type shit, right? No more fancy shit. These niggas just throwing. It's a straight brawl. Gohan using that little martial arts, and shit. While Jiren's doing that, I'm a real nigga energy, all right? Black Force energy, red shirt energy, all right? And Gohan starts getting beat on, right? And during all of this, the sensu being he did get crushed, all right? So he's pretty much fucked, all right? And he gets beat on some more, all right? And so boom, boom, boom. Jiren's about to finish his nigga. Then out of nowhere, everybody since it's like in a usually high power level, and then you see a death being appeared. Everyone stop. Well, everyone that's still not dead or erased looks over at Frieza like, "What the fuck you just do?" And Frieza's like, "I'm not the one that shot that death beam." They look down. They see Perfect Cell, or Ultimate Super Perfect Cell, if you may. Everybody's potential has been locked, remember, or almost everybody. Cell comes up like, yeah, I'm a smooth dude. So Cell comes in joining the fight, but Jiren's pissed. All right, he's tired. Don't get your boy wrong, but he's pissed. All these insignificant bitch ass niggas testing his might. So he started beating up on Cell, but he can only beat up on Cell so much. So Cell, they start duking, boom, boom. But Cell's a lot stronger, but he still don't got those hands. And Jiren, for whatever reason, was able to power up like 5, 4, 6 times. So let's go with it. And Cell just start beating up. Jiren start beating up on Cell, and he gets kicked over to Gohan, and Gohan gets smacked in the face, and he on the ground. And then he realizes what's going on. So then after Cell, basically fights a little more and does a little more, he eventually gets knocked out himself, like getting tossed out like some garbage. Gohan, realizing what the fuck just happened, right? Eats that sensu bean that Cell was able to cheekily give him. He powers back up to full power, and he's like, damn, I'm about to fuck this nigga up, man. He gets all the energy he can gather. He makes like this weird little, you can say it's fan stuff, but I just think he would do some shit like this. So he would either do like this ultimate, like everybody Kamehameha, like he starts thinking of everybody, like as he's drawing this Kamehameha back, right? So it'd be like, he has his hands extended while Jiren's walking towards him, right? First, his mom, all his friends, Tien, Yamcha, Krillin. As he gets, further back, he thinks about Vegeta. He thinks about, like, even Goku. He thinks about Vegeta, and he's like, I guess even you too, Frieza. And then he shoots out, like, this ultimate Kamehameha. But I don't like that one. All right? So if y'all want to say that's what happened for you. That's on your timeline, all right? What I want to say he did, right, is he does like this weird ultimate move of everyone, right? So as he's, winding his shit back, he does like a dough beam kind of pose, Kamehameha kind of pose. He also does like a small type of Wolfang fist. He's like doing like everybody's move. And like he even has his hand arched in a weird way when he gets all the way to the back when he's thinking about Frieza's death ball. And then He shoots out like this. I don't know what position he would do, but I guess he would have like his hand cupped together while also having two fingers on the palm, like his left hand pressing into it. And he's like, Jiren, this move is made for you. And this is the power of everyone on earth. This is the power of everyone. Die. And then he shoots out like this super blast, right? And Jiren's like, damn. He just said, damn. GG's. He slumps down. He falls down. I tried. Boom. GG's. Gohan, exhausted physically, mentally, and spiritually. Fuck. Super Dragon Balls come out. Gohan makes, the wish to bring every single, universe back. Frieza's like, yes. And then, it was, everybody was under the pretense that no one was going to come back from this shit. So, like, it's even worse. But Grand Priest was like, all right, does some bullshit, angel plot bullshit, bring everybody back in full. Everybody's like, oh. We thought we was dead. They confused and shit. And, oh shit, we alive. What's that nigga name? Zeno was like, yeah, that was fun. I like that. I like the death. I like the blood. Especially that one chick that got really angry. Like, he on his bullshit. Gohan's like, oh shit, my niggas are back. Fuck. After all that happening, Grand Priest walked up, went over to Frieza. You now have permission to go to other universes and channels the God of Destruction. But remember this. If they're, basically if your passing grade falls, like, by any margin, you will be promptly removed from, I want to say it would have to be like an extreme, right? Like, you would be promptly removed from the position altogether. Like, it's got to be something drastic. And Frieza says, don't you think that's a bit extreme? And then Grand Peter said, don't test me. He says, my sorry. And then Frieza bows down. It's like, my apologies, Lord. And that's how that would happen. Nothing special happens here. I mean, like, this is like kind of the end. The story actually became way more complicated than what I originally was doing. I'm gonna put this at the beginning of the video, but at the time of recording this, I didn't do it yet. But I got this idea from Super Sonic Warriors. So, what really happened originally was Frieza fucked Goku up, came to Earth, eventually killed Piccolo, got immortality, and just fought Cell, killed, blew up the Earth, and just ruled the, universe. That's it. Like, that's it. But with all this new information, my brain said, I got an idea. Anyways, so let's talk about what briefly happened. So after that, Frieza eventually goes and, challenges, Universe 6 God, fucks that nigga up pretty easily. That nigga didn't train, so, Vamos was like, hey, bro, I told your bitch ass to train. Long story short, he got that universe, and since he has people in, Universe 7 to make sure, people stay in line and everyone does what they need to do, they keep, that universe checked until, Frieza comes, by. And since he's immortal too, hey, he got all the time in the world, baby. So, long story short, he eventually just becomes, the God of Destruction of all 12 universes that we know of. Even the ones we don't know of, but we'll just keep those ones out because you never know. I might make a part 2 in the future. Okay? So, Frieza takes over, like, the main 12 universes, and he just travels in between of those. And we can even just say he gets, like, to the point where, like, he keeps training very hard and rigorously to make sure, he never has any competition. Even any Saiyans from any of the other universes, he makes sure they get training from whatever angel, which he technically has the angels with him at all time, but He lets them, you know, train other people to make sure, you know, they can. He kind of like he has like subordinates almost. And Earth goes back to how it was all peaceful and stuff. And unless Frieza stops by, even even C-18 and Brawley decides to live on Earth to, you know, live out their peaceful life, and Frieza allows this. Like, your kids are in my ranks, like, you know, in my empire, or his, you know, OG empire. Sure. Captain Gear, throughout his, you know, time serving, he's been loyal. He's done everything he needs to. Giving him his, you know, few years of peace wouldn't really hurt. Dr. Jiro's just making technology and making, you know, a lot of different stuff while Frieza, you know, keeps an eye on him, but not too worried about it. You know, Frieza thinks like he gets the message. He can stay alive as long as he wants to. Don't act up. Goku, Vegeta, and all of them, you know, they continue to train and stuff. There's not gonna really be any threats, because if there is ever a threat, if it's not something of value, Frieza just Hakai's it out and, you know, keeps monitoring this. So Frieza just becomes like the ruler of multiverses. And as of right now, that's where we would end it. So, oh man, I made this video. Ooh. This video was a beast of a task. It took me like, what, 3 days to do this video? I don't even know how long it is until I'm editing a little bit. So, like, thank you for making this far. And tell me, what was your favorite part? Hell, you might have already commented that shit. Catch you later.